All right, all right, all right. You are listening to Geek Vice, the number one podcast in Cell Block 53, brought to you by your host, Morph. Take it away, Morph.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Geek Vice, a podcast by a few geeks just trying to be heard in a world now flooded with geeks. I'm Morph, your bartender for the zombie apocalypse. That man over there is Kip, a man boldly going from the couch to the kitchen and back again. Good evening, Kip.
Good evening. How are we on this fine Monday?
Well, it's Monday,
Yes, it is.
but at least I'm drinking, so that makes it a little bit better.
Drinking makes everything better.
It does in my world. That's why I keep drinking. So what do you got for us this week, Morph or Kip?
You're Morph, by the way.
It's one of those nights, man. It's been one of those days.
I understand that.
Well, you done anything fun this past week, or
this
weekend? Other than we had, for those of you that don't know, we were on Cup of Joe Q&A panel on, what was that, Thursday?
That was Thursday, yes.
That was Thursday, and after that happened, that project has officially been funded, so congratulations, Prolific Games.
That doesn't mean to not go in and still pledge, because we can get some good stretch goals. So yeah. Go to Kickstarter, look up Prolific Games Cup of Joe, which is a Flapjacks and Sasquatches expansion, and give them your money. Do it now.
Yes, I really want us to get to $10,000, because I think that's the next stretch goal, and I think that was the one that has the We've Got Beer card.
Oh yeah, we gotta have that one.
I need the beer card. Come on, guys, help me out here. I can't pledge any more money. I've already given them my firstborn child.
And they tried to give him back, but you're not taking him.
Nope. They can keep him.
Yeah, people should do it now, because now it's safe. Now you know for sure you're going to get the game.
Yeah, there's no question about that. So what else you got for us there, Kip?
Well, after the thing on Thursday with Prolific Games, I figured, you know what, the only way this weekend's going to be even better than that is if we just see a bunch of movies. So we did see a bunch of movies. And it started off Friday night with a movie that I'd seen before, but the wife had not seen, and it's called Safety Not Guaranteed. Have you seen this movie?
I have not. I'm not even sure I've heard of this movie.
Oh man. Well, it came out in 2012. It's an indie film. It's got Aubrey Plaza from Parks and Rec. It's got, what's that guy's name? Basil something or other from The League. And the guy from the AT&T commercials that wants to put pepper spray on his burrito, he's in it.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's a movie about the whole premise is this newspaper in Seattle finds this ad written by this guy that says he's looking for somebody to go back in time with him. They must supply their own weapons. I've only done this once before, safety not guaranteed. So they're like, well, we got to check this whack job out. And so they drive to this small town where this guy is. And Aubrey Plaza and what's his name? It's like
Young
Sony. Oh, no. Yeah, it's the guy from the AT&T commercials. They're both interns for the guy who is from the TV show. I think he's on New Girl. He's one of the guys on New Girl. And they're his intern, and they drive to this small town in Washington and try to get in touch with this guy. I guess the guy's name is Mark Duplass, who plays the main character, the guy who can time travel according um, to the ad.
Okay.
And it actually, even for me, which is surprising, but it's a love story in a way towards the end, which still didn't turn me off from watching it. And I just thought it was well done. It's really well written. It's got a good heart. It's funny in the right places. And I don't know, give it a shot. Safety not guaranteed. Do it.
All right. I'm gonna have to check that one out. I'll at
You'll
least
have to check it out.
I'll put it on the list. Anytime my wife likes watching these romantic comedy type things, so if I can find one that somebody says is actually good and not completely like I don't know nerve wracking or makes me want to hang myself at the end of the movie, then I'm all in for it.
Yeah, you won't even look for the rope, let alone want to hang yourself.
Oh, that's good.
The love story is kind of happens at the end type of thing, but the guy is just weird enough, and they do all this stuff that's just weird enough that you're intrigued by the whole deal, and then when the movie ends, it just leaves you going. It just leaves it to a point where you've got to fill in the blanks yourself, which I really like to do.
Okay.
So I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Plus, it's got Aubrey Plaza. I got a thing for Aubrey Plaza, so that's a good deal.
And you can get the full movie on Amazon right now.
Yes.
Just to throw that out there.
Yes, you can. And here's my cat. Say hello to the cat.
Hi, cat.
So after that.
What other movies do you see this weekend then? Because you couldn't have just done that one. You made it sound like you saw like 50 movies this weekend.
Well, I saw 3. Well, I saw more than that, but 3 worth mentioning. And then Sunday we went and did Fork and Screen for the first time ever.
Oh, how'd you like that?
I did like that. The only downside to Fork and Screen is you can't see your food.
Yeah. Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, so that's kind of weird. But we saw Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. And my wife had read the book. She's a big fan. And I saw the first 2 movies with her, and I kept thinking, well, they're okay. I don't know what all the hoopla is about. I mean, yeah, it's Jennifer Lawrence, blah, blah, blah. I just still thought, But this third movie is really good. It's by far the best one in the series, and it's just a really good movie. The utopian or dystopian future fighting against the man kind of a deal just worked. I don't know. For me, it's made the sitting through the first 2 movies worth it. Because I knew what was going on, I knew the characters, and then this movie happened. It's like, yes. So I was pretty happy about that. Have you seen any of the Hunger Games movies?
I saw the first one. I thought it was crap, so I haven't watched it.
All right, good. I'm not the only one.
I did not like the first one. Maybe I didn't understand. I don't understand why the stuff's happening. And to me, there has to when you're putting kids in danger like that movie was set up to do, and I understand that the book was written, the book is a young adult reader book, but so it's gotta have, they think they have to have people in there that are kids that are the age of the people reading the books. I get that. But when you're putting kids in a life or death situation, battle royale type scenario, in order for me to buy in on that, you have to give me a reason why. And that first movie gave me no reason why. I didn't understand anything that was going on or why they were in, they got picked for these games, but why did they get picked? why do they have the games? I didn't understand any of that from the movie. And maybe the book does a better job. I don't know, but they didn't sell it well enough to me to buy in. So,
Well, maybe you were either too drunk or too sober to pay attention. I don't know which.
I don't know. Or maybe it
But
just
anyway,
wasn't enough. But okay, so here's my question about this movie you just saw, because you said you didn't like the last two movies. Could this movie have happened without those other two movies? Could you have put in just enough information to tell you who some of these characters are and still be able to make this movie work, considering you still have another 2-hour movie coming?
possibly. If you did the backstory and flashbacks during some of the downtime,
Yeah.
I think you could do it. But, then what are all these teenage girls going to do? They need the other two movies.
The teenage girls don't need the other two movies. The production companies need the other two movies because they need the girls to buy more tickets.
Okay, so I got the cart in front of the horse. They need that movie, so those movies, so the teens and tween girls will go spend their money.
Because I'm pretty sure the tween girls will find other things to spend their money on. I don't think the movies are the only thing they'll spend their money on.
You got me there. But, I thought it was well done. I loved the setting of the whole thing.
Yeah.
They're living in a bombed out city. They're fighting a corrupt government. They're in hiding. It works for me. I thought the movie was well done.
Yeah, sounds good. I can't say that I'll watch this one, but it sounds good. I'm glad
Well, you don't
somebody
have
liked
to.
it.
I just, I can just tell you how it goes off air, and then you'll be done.
That'll be good. Or you just might as well wait till part 2 comes out, and then I'll know what the ending is, and everything will be
Exactly,
fine.
because I haven't read the book, so it's all new to me.
I haven't read
So,
any of it, and I don't have any interest in reading any of it. So,
well, there you
what
go.
else? What was the third movie you saw?
So we did a double feature yesterday. After we saw Mockingjay Part 1, we saw Big Hero 6, the animated Marvel property. And my first impressions are, why does Disney always have to kill somebody in the first 10 minutes of the movie? It's a kids movie, and Disney loves to kill people for kids' sake.
Because you can't have a hero without a tragedy.
Apparently.
It's your stereotypical storytelling trope. Like you have to you have to have a tragedy in order for, or something bad to happen in order for that person to overcome that, to go on and do good things, to become a hero.
Apparently. But, it's this young kid who, like graduated high school and he was like 12 or something and builds his own robots and, is kind of aimless, and then tragedy happens and now he's got an aim, and yeah, you love the robot. Betamax is his name. I went into the movie thinking the robot's name was Big Hero 6, but apparently that's the team. But it's funny in all the right places. It's cute. It's sad more than once, which, doesn't really work for me, but, whatever.
Right.
I recommend it. I don't know about taking young kids to it since people do die. So, parents be warned. It says Disney, which is Latin for kill off a character right away.
Yeah, that's a movie that I know my 5-year-old wants to go see, and as soon as I have some time, there's a chance that I'll go take him to see it. We gotta have a weekend where we're not doing something the entire time. So, but For those of you that don't know, because maybe you don't, it is a Marvel movie. It is also a comic book. I have not read it. Apparently, it didn't last very long, or didn't do very, not popular enough to stick around for very long.
Well, maybe because
So
they killed off all the characters. I don't know.
there were some in the comic books. Some of the characters that were on the team or have some of those characters have gone on to do other things, but they yeah, but they haven't that series. They didn't even advertise it really as a comic book movie. I think partly because the movie and the comic book go one goes left, the other one goes right. They aren't anywhere close to being the same thing. So
Well, the funny thing is if you didn't know it was a comic or a Marvel property going into the movie, you wouldn't have known it until the very end when they did the credits.
yeah.
Then they kind of went, "Hey, look, this is Big Hero 6 and this is who they are." And you're like, "Oh, okay. Well, let's get to the car." You know.
Nice. Well, talk about underselling.
Yeah. It's a kids movie. You probably got some character with a Happy Meal or some shit, but
Yeah, probably.
so we wanted to see it. It'd been out long enough that we figured it wouldn't be overrun with children screaming and making noise, and we were right. I enjoyed it. Don't know if I'll see it again, but I enjoyed it.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
So that was
So,
my movies for the weekend.
while we're on the topic of movies, there's some movie news that came out over this last week. Just some quick things. We did get an official announcement from Marvel. We'll stick with Marvel for right now. That Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be Doctor Strange.
I thought that was already official a long time ago.
Well, I think he was in talks for it, but now it's official. Like so much so that all parties have agreed and said yes, it is him. So no backing out now. He's it. Which I think's a good call. I think he'll do really good as that type of character. Still no announcement on what the story is going to be for Doctor Strange or how that's going to play out, but keep your eyes peeled and stay tuned to Geek Vice, because as soon as I see stuff about Doctor Strange, I'm going to put it on here because I like Doctor Strange. The other news we got, though, and this is a rumor thing, and I usually try to steer away from these things, but I've got to include this one because it's another character that is out there and a lot of people like him, and an actor that everybody likes, and that's Ryan Reynolds. And apparently he's back in talks with Marvel to play Deadpool in a movie, and a Deadpool-centered movie. So I think Marvel. Well, I guess this technically wouldn't be Marvel. I guess this would technically be Fox, because they are the ones that own the rights to that. Because I don't know how they got him or if that came in the mutant category that they have, but since he did appear in the Wolverine Origins really bad movie, I'm assuming they still have the rights to him. But who knows? Marvel could have gotten that back from him. But
Well, it should have been taken. It should have been immediately taken away from them when they did Deadpool in that freaking X-Men movie and screwed it all up.
Yeah,
they should have lost the rights at that point.
I agree, and I think Ryan Reynolds is an excellent. I think he would be an excellent Deadpool. I think he could play that character really well. So I hope that this comes true, and I hope they treat Deadpool like they should. But I don't know. They might have a hard time because it's going to need to be a pretty crazy, wild shoot 'em up movie. They could probably get Quentin Tarantino to be the director of it, and no one would think that would be a bad idea.
Yeah, if it's anything like that short they released, it's just going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And that actually did have Ryan Reynolds voicing Deadpool in that one, so
Yeah.
there you go. Now, I do have to include a little bit of bad news
Uh-oh.
in my movie topics for today, and that is that they have found a director for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sequel. And I don't know, I was kind of hoping that maybe they would never find a director and then it would just end up going away and never happen, because I think Michael Bay is he's pretty much just lost himself. So this director is Dave Green. He was the director of Earth to Echo, which is an animated movie, so I'll be curious to see how that works out. And it sounds like all the producers are going to be back, and that movie, from what I've heard, because I refuse to go see it, from what I've heard, that movie is so bad that these producers should all be fired. So apparently they're going to come back and do the same one. They got the same guy, the same writer for it, same executive producer, same producers. There's no other words on if the casting's going to be the same or not, but either way, you get the same people running the show back, it's going to be just as bad. So, unfortunately, there's no hope for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Eastman and Laird, the creators of this, should be thoroughly pissed at what they're doing to this with their characters.
Well, I haven't seen anything for any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, not the cartoon, none of the movies. I think I'm too old.
It could be. I could send you the comic books. They're pretty good. I like them. But we do have some breaking news.
Bum, bum, bum.
We did find just today, Kip found this right before we went on the air to record this, that Jeff Johns and Warner Brothers / DC are planning another TV show, and it's going to come out on TNT, and they're in production of the pilot for a show called Titans, which is going to be basically, it sounds like a Teen Titans live-action TV show. They say in the article it's going to be centered around Dick Grayson after he's done being Robin and becomes Nightwing. And he's going to basically lead a group of superheroes. The picture that they've got in this article is it's a little interesting because it's got some characters in there that I don't remember in Teen Titans, but it gives them the opportunity to maybe play some connections or drum up a little bit of play on some characters they could end up turning into movies, like Superboy. And who did you say this girl was? Wonder
Girl.
Wonder Girl.
Yeah, Wonder Woman's little sister.
Yeah, which I don't know. I haven't read a whole lot of Teen Titans comic books, but I don't think that's actually a character in the DC universe right now.
Well, according to the Wikipedia page, she was like in number 54 or some shit like that.
All right, so maybe she was. I don't know. Never heard of her.
What? I thought you've read every comic that's ever come out, ever.
Man, I try really hard. I'm a little behind on my comic book reading. I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. TV shows have been getting in the way. But what do you think, John? Kip? You think Jeff Johns could pull this off? You think DC's got a chance at this?
I actually am looking forward to this, and I do think they can pull this off and make a great show. I am curious to see how they do. Was it Beast Boy?
Yeah.
I'm curious how they're going to handle the CGI on that. But yeah, I'm excited about this. I think they could pull this off and make something great out of it.
Well, and they've in the last few episodes, whenever we talk about upcoming movies, upcoming TV shows, especially when we talk about Marvel's upcoming movies, we say, well, they've got the credibility, they've got the track history of being able to put out good movies even when you don't think they can do it. DC has shown that with TV shows that they've been able to do that. I mean, Arrow has been really good. I've enjoyed it. The Flash is really good. Constantine is amazing. So, I mean, and they did it with Smallville. So they've done this over and over, putting stuff on TV and being able to write their stories to fit that really well. And so,
Yeah, they seem to do a better job at the TV than Marvel does. But
yeah.
along those same lines, did you also see that Kristen, um, holy cow, her last name just all of a sudden, Ritter is going to be Jessica Jones on the Marvel series that they're going to do on Netflix?
No, that's awesome.
That is awesome. I think she's perfect for that.
Oh man, I can't wait for those things to come out.
I know, it's like, I don't want next year to be here already, but holy cow, I can't wait to see some of this.
Yeah, and that, I mean, and I think it comes down to, I don't know, maybe it's just a matter of writing styles. DC does a good job with the episodic nature and tying everything together, where Marvel seems to, because even with Agents of Shield, which we'll get into here in a little bit, um, they are, even the writing for Agents of Shield is written for the long haul. It's not a, I mean, I thought this thing could be an episodic thing. There's no episodic nothing to it. It's like they feel like they've got stuff written for, well, what the Inhuman movie comes out in 2016. I feel like they've got this TV show that's going to go on for that long, and we just are waiting around to see what happens. So that is way different from any other TV show out there where they write it for almost season to season and expect to be canceled at some point. It seems like Agents of Shield is written for 2 years down the road. So
It feels that way, especially since sometimes you feel like, let's move on with the story here.
yeah,
But, yeah.
yeppers. So we'll go on to main topic here. Kip, what are you watching, man?
What am I watching? Well, right now, our DVR is recording The Flash, Arrow,
Wrestling.
wrestling, um, well, Blacklist, and Sleepy Hollow. And they're all on, I guess, hiatus, mid-season hiatus. Start
Right.
back up in January. But those were the big four that when the fall season started, that were like, well, we're gonna watch these. And luckily, they've all held up, and we haven't dropped any of them,
And you're
which is unusual for us.
up to date on all of them too. You're not even falling behind.
Yeah, scary, isn't it?
I know that's nuts.
Yeah, the last year, we were looking forward to Agents of Shield, and about halfway through, we dropped it, gave up on that. A couple other shows we gave up on last year, but it seemed like these four we just kind of stick with.
Nice.
What about
Well,
you?
that's good. Well, I mean, I had a huge list. My DVR is packed with stuff. Which I could have brought that list home. But I want to say that I'm recording probably like 10 shows in a week.
Holy cow!
So I have a hard time keeping up with them in the first place, but you can tell when you go back, and that's why I was really looking forward to doing, talking about where we're at mid-season, and we'll talk again at the end of the TV season and see what we actually finished and what we didn't. It is interesting for me to go back and look at that and see what it was that I recorded that I'm like, yeah, I think this is going to be good, and then never made it. And then the shows that I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm really going to like this, and I'm up to date on it. Um, One of those is Constantine. I wasn't sure if I was going to like that one. Um, I'm up to date on that one, and every time that comes out, I'm watching it because it is incredible. It is amazing. People should check it out, especially if you don't have a weak stomach and you have no problems with the ideas that this evil is out there corrupting everything. Because it there's some times where I'm sure there's some people that are listening to this going, well, I tried watching this one episode and I just had to turn it off. It was too much for me. I can see that, and I'm kind of surprised that they can do this on NBC. But you know what? I like it, and I like the way they're handling it. It's not a gore for gore's sake. It's, it doesn't seem to be like Saw or those type of movies. There's a reason for it, and it needs to be there, and it gets its point across without being to the point where where somebody's calling them up and fining people because they're putting too much gore in there. Anyway, really good TV show, Constantine. That one I'm up to date on. The other one was, well, there was two that I was really looking forward to that I go back and look at it, and I've got a whole bunch of them recorded, and I haven't watched any of them. One of them's Person of Interest. I think I've just gotten hooked on so many other shows that I haven't watched any from this season. I still have them all recorded, and I plan on watching them, but they're just sitting there. The one that I'm actually thinking about deleting after seeing some of the previews for upcoming episodes uh, is the what's it called? Scorpion.
See, and I want to get into that show. I just keep forgetting about it.
Yeah, it's okay. Like the first episode I really kind of liked, and I watched a couple more after that, but it kind of oh, it kind of gets into that spot where they're doing things and you're like, wait a second. Now you're starting to stretch my ability, my suspension of disbelief.
I gotcha.
There was one, because I watch a few shows that come on before it, and I watch a lot of other shows that come on CBS. I really enjoy NCIS and NCIS Los Angeles, which I'm both up to date on both of those. So they run a lot of like the trailers during the commercials, or the little commercials for Scorpion as the new hit drama. And one of them took these these are supposed to be brainiacs, like way above IQ, crazy intelligence, can do all kinds of amazing things with their brain, and they had them in military camo and had them traipsing through a jungle. Why the fuck would you have brainiacs carrying rifles walking through a jungle? That's what you have the military for. Why are you sending these guys that, to me, shouldn't be able to shoot a gun? Because that's not why they're there. They're there because they're smarter than everyone else. So I haven't watched that episode, and it kind of, just seeing the commercials for it makes me like, I don't know that I really want to watch that episode. So that series might just get deleted without me even finishing the first season.
Wow. Okay.
And that's hard to do in my book, because I finished the first season of just about anything. I have this problem where I try to complete everything, and so I end up sticking around with some shows where I really shouldn't, and this one's bad enough that I might actually be dropping it. So, um, I don't know. I think after I talked so highly on the pilot episode for it, I want to say uh, one of the somebody listened to the show and talked to us about it. I think it might have been young Mr. Bogina, and made the comment that they're going to stretch this to a point where you can't believe what they're doing, and I think they've hit that point. And they didn't even make it through the first season. So I hate to say he was right, but I think he might have been right.
We just won't tell him.
Just tell him to skip this episode.
That's right. Ignore this one. Nothing to see here.
But yeah, it was. I'm up to date on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I just watched the last episode last night, and I have to say, I am super stoked to see where this goes in the second half of the season. I think they've got a couple episodes still to come this year before they go on their mid-season break, because their mid-season break, I believe, is going to start first part January 6th, because that's when Agent Carter starts. But they have basically found a way to bring in the suspense of having a Hydra versus Shield, Shield being an unknown quantity. You don't really know what they have. Type espionage that's really fun, and I've enjoyed it a lot. Plus, the dynamics on the team, they've changed up quite a bit by bringing in some new characters. Bringing in Mockingbird is awesome. She does a really good job. And I don't know, the part that I think is the most, and I'm trying to say it without spoiling it, but the connection that they have brought to the movie franchises that have just been announced that aren't coming till 2016. This, to me, it's awesome. I love to see this stuff because it almost feels like Marvel's laying groundwork in this TV show for big things to come down the road in their movies, let alone more stuff in the TV shows. It just gives them an opportunity to maybe bring in some more this idea, like they had in the first part of the season where they brought in the Absorbing Man. So they actually showed somebody with abilities in the TV show. I don't know that they can do it every week. I don't know that it's going to happen all the time, but it gives them an opportunity to do some of that a little bit more. And I think that's kind of fun. I think that'll be kind of cool.
Yeah, I need to get caught up. Like I said, we gave up on it last year about halfway through. But now that it's on Netflix, we're going to catch up. So watch out.
I recommend that. I do recommend that.
Well, it wouldn't be right, for us to actually be up to speed on too many TV shows, because being like 5 seasons behind is what we do. Because we're just now getting into the show White Collar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is like the 6th season or something going on now, and we just now started watching. So that's how up to date we usually are.
If it makes you feel any better, I've seen a few episodes of that, but I have no idea what. Like, I know what it's about, but I'm not up to date anywhere close on that thing. But
did you see the link I just sent you in chat?
I did. What? Tell me a little bit about this.
Well, I just saw that they announced they're going to do, I forgot what channel.
Sci-Fi.
Sci-Fi Channel, a show called Krypton, a new Superman origin series.
With David Goyer producing.
Yeah.
Why does that name sound familiar? What has he done?
Everything. Actually, I don't know.
Oh shit.
I'm the world's worst person to ask.
Well, I'm gonna look it up. So keep telling us about what this thing is. TV show
It,
about
it's
Krypton.
inspired by John Byrne's World of Krypton's miniseries. And let's see. The project was rumored back in October, but looks like it's going to happen now. And I'm hoping to find when they think it's going to come on. But they probably don't know a heck of a lot. So we'll see how it
Oh
goes. But
wow.
just the idea, just the whole idea of a origin story made for TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I think that's a really good idea, and that could be really fun. John Byrne's a really good comic book writer. So if it's a story that he's written, it's probably pretty good. And David Goyer, why his name sounded familiar? Oh, he just wrote a few movies that you might have heard of, maybe called Batman Begins, Man of Steel, The Dark Knight Rises. He's also,
So small budget stuff.
yeah, just a few things. Um, and then you go, oh, well, he's just written movies, so he's not going to be any good. Well, he's also kind of written a bunch of episodes of Constantine, Da Vinci's Demons. Actually had a part in Call of Duty Black Ops 2 and Black Ops, the first one. He also was the creator and writer for Flash Forward. So this guy, that's why his name sounds familiar. He's done just about everything that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
So
And,
that's going to be pretty awesome. Again, another thing where Warner Brothers kind of shows they can do TV shows better than anyone else.
yep. And they've got Ian Goldberg who penned some of the episodes for Once Upon a Time and Flash Forward will also be working some script and doing executive producing.
Awesome.
So, and they're saying it's going to be more like Gotham than Smallville. So,
Okay.
I think that's a positive.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, you know, honestly, they're going to an area where I'm not sure there's a whole lot of. I mean, there's not a whole lot of precedence for. I mean, you're going to an alien world, so it you could really do a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, you can practically do what you want.
Yeah.
As far as the way it looks and feels and all that, it's open. So I'll
Yeah,
be curious to see what they do with it.
and as of right now, this is really just a rumored project. There's no timetable and no comments from Warner Brothers Television, so it could end up being nothing. But it it could end up being something big too. You never know.
Yeah, I'm hoping this happens.
So
I
there you
I think
go.
that'd be pretty awesome.
Have
Pretty awesome.
have you been watching any of the Gotham TV show?
I have been. I forgot to mention that earlier, but yes, I have been.
That's another one that I have been watching and enjoying a lot of. I'm not completely caught up on that one. I got a few weeks back, but um but that one's one that I'm trying to get caught up on. There's one other show that I wanted to bring up that I've had a lot of people tell me I need to go check out, and I've actually downloaded a few of the first episodes, but I haven't had a chance to watch them yet, and that is a show called Forever on ABC.
Forever?
Forever.
I haven't even heard of that. I
This
should be ashamed.
this TV show is basically about well, it's got uh, Gruffudd is the actor's name. He's from the Fantastic Four. He played Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four movies.
Okay.
And he plays a um, as a medical examiner in New York, but he is basically immortal, and he doesn't I'm not sure he actually knows why he's immortal. Somehow he's become immortal and lives with his dad, who is the dad from, or actually he lives with his son, who is basically old enough to be his dad. If that makes sense.
In a kind of TV twisted way, yes.
Yeah, it's the guy is immortal, so he looks young, and um, he but his son has not been is not immortal, so he has aged, and but it's the dad from the TV show Numbers, in case if you've ever seen that. So, which
Is that Judd Hirsch?
yes, I believe so.
Okay.
He's really good. I like him
I've
too.
always liked him, yeah.
So it's but basically um, whenever Henry Morgan, which is the character's name, whenever he dies, he seems to be resurrected in a nearby body of water with no clothes on. So it's an interesting kind of concept. He's trying to figure out his own immortality and why that's there, and almost kind of seems like, from what I've read and comments, that he's almost trying to figure out how to stop his immortality because of everything he's had to deal with. So um, I've heard it's really good. It's one of those TV shows that I didn't have on my radar until somebody mentioned it, and now I kind of want to get caught up on it. So
Yeah, it sounds intriguing. I can't believe I hadn't heard of this. Now I have to see this.
there you go. There you go. It's at mid-season break now, so now's your chance to try to find it on TV. You can check. It's on ABC, so sometimes ABC has their stuff streaming on their website too. So you might be able to check that out.
I will definitely check that out.
But other than that, I don't really think there's really any other TV shows that I'm really following all that much.
Yeah.
The Flash, I'm still liking the Flash, but I'm so far behind on that. I think I'm about 5 weeks back on that one. So I'm trying to get caught up, but like I said, I got a lot of TV shows that I'm watching. So
Yeah.
it's hard to find time to watch all of them.
I'm liking the Flash. They do need to do something. They're starting to get a little repetitive, but hopefully they'll come up with, some major plot twist or something to come along. They're hinting at it. We'll see if they actually unveil it and, kind of get out of the groove that they're in.
Yeah.
But you have to get caught up before we can even talk about it.
Yeah, maybe I'll try to do that next week. I'll try to get caught up, and we can talk about Flash.
Sweet.
And maybe I'll try to get caught up on Arrow too, and we'll just make it a DC TV show next week. What do you think?
Well, we might be able to do that.
And we can do that.
We can do that.
We can do that, and then the week after that, it looks like Ascension will actually happen, and that's the other TV show that's on my list that I'm really looking forward to, but it hasn't even come out yet. It was supposed to have already come out by now, but it, for whatever reason, got pushed to later this month. So.
Yeah, because it was originally supposed to be like November 26th, and then now it's December 15th.
Yep.
I don't care as long as I get to see it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I believe it is December 15th, and it'll be 15th, 16th, 17th that they will show 6 hours of TV in 3 days for this little mini series called Ascension. And just to plug this a little bit more, we're going to be talking about that full. Well, I'm going to say we're going to be talking about that full series, but we'll have to see how many episodes, how many hours we can get watched between when that ends and when we record on the 22nd. But that's the plan right there, is to talk about it on the 22nd. So come back in a couple of weeks and hear all about Ascension. Make sure you guys watch it so you can not be spoiled, because we'll go into detail about it. We're not gonna hold our tongues. So
Exactly. And I'll be more relaxed because I have that whole week off of work. So
yeah, screw you. But all right, guys. Well, I think we can wrap that up here. Kip, you
yeah,
got
we've done
anything?
enough damage today.
Yeah, yeah, we have. Be sure to check us out on our blog at geekvice.blogspot.com. Follow us on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter at geekvice. You can follow Kip on Twitter at Kip Killigan.
Spelled like this. There it is. Okay.
There it is on the screen. You can also go find us on Facebook, Google+. Go like our Facebook page, because we need some more likes on there. And if you want to email us and tell us why we're morons for hating Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the movie, or why we should be watching forever and why we should have never missed out on this, email us at geekvice@gmail.com. Kip, you got anything closing thoughts?
I'm brain dead.
Me too. So we'll see you guys next time.
See ya!
Later.